Every barndominium owner in a hot climate is paying an electricity bill every month that has nothing to do with how well their building was insulated. And everything to do with a decision that was never presented to them as an option. The decision to let the earth cool the building. Not a heat pump. Not a mini-split. Not a mechanical system consuming electricity every hour of every summer day to fight an ambient temperature that the ground 6 feet below the surface has already resolved. Quietly, passively, for free. Since before the building was ever built. Earth tubes. A technology that has existed for centuries, that costs a fraction of a conventional HVAC system, and that can cool a barndominium for approximately $5 a month in electricity. For the life of the building. This is the architecture of that decision. Before this analysis begins, if you are designing or building a barndominium in a hot climate and you want the architectural and engineering intelligence that goes deeper than mini-split specifications and HVAC contractor quotes, subscribe to Barndominium Haven right now. We cover barndominium architecture with structural honesty, environmental intelligence, and the real cost context that the industry consistently leaves out. Hit the bell so you never miss a video. Stay until the limitations section, because earth tube technology has specific constraints that determine whether it works for your site, and understanding those constraints before you design your foundation is the difference between a system that performs for 30 years and a trench you paid to dig that you cannot use. The architecture starts now. The barndominium community has developed a sophisticated understanding of insulation. Closed-cell spray foam, thermal breaks, vapor barriers, continuous insulation at the wall-to-roof junction. And that understanding is producing buildings that are significantly more thermally efficient than the first generation of barndominiums built in the early 2000s. But there is a fundamental limitation to the insulation strategy. And it is a limitation that no amount of R-value can fully overcome. Insulation slows the transfer of heat into the building. It does not remove the heat that has entered. It does not address the solar radiation absorbed by the metal roof and radiated into the building's interior environment through the very insulation that was supposed to stop it. It does not reduce the ambient temperature of the air that the HVAC system is drawing in and attempting to cool to a comfortable level. In a Texas summer, where ambient air temperatures regularly exceed 100 degrees Fahrenheit for weeks at a time, the HVAC system is not supplementing a comfortable environment. It is creating one from scratch. Fighting an ambient condition that is 30 degrees above the target interior temperature. Every hour, every day, for 4 to 5 months of the year. That fight costs money. It costs electricity. And it costs the mechanical system years of service life with every summer it endures. The solution that the barndominium community has not broadly adopted is to stop fighting the ambient air and start using the ambient ground instead. Earth tubes, also called earth-air heat exchangers, ground-coupled air systems, or Canadian wells in some European building traditions, are large-diameter pipes buried at a depth of 6 to 10 feet below grade, through which outdoor air is drawn before entering the building's ventilation system. The system works on one simple principle. At a depth of 6 feet or more below the surface, the ground temperature in most U.S. climate zones remains between 55 and 65 degrees Fahrenheit year-round. Regardless of whether the surface temperature is 105 degrees in August or 15 degrees in January. The Earth is a thermal mass, an enormous, stable, essentially infinite temperature buffer that absorbs summer heat and winter cold at the surface without allowing either to penetrate to the depth where the earth tubes sit. When 105-degree outdoor air is drawn through a pipe buried at 6 feet over the length of the pipe run, typically 100 to 200 feet, the air exchanges heat with the surrounding soil, arriving at the building's air intake at approximately 65 to 72 degrees, 35 to 40 degrees cooler than when it entered the pipe, without consuming a single watt of compression energy. The only electrical consumption in a passive earth tube system is the fan that draws air through the pipe. Typically a small, variable speed fan consuming 15 to 40 watts. which, running continuously, costs approximately $3 to $6 per month in electricity at 2026 average utility rates. That is the $5 a month figure in this video's title. It is not marketing. It is the actual electrical cost of moving air through a pipe in the ground. The only energy input required by a system that uses the earth itself as the cooling medium. The ground's thermal stability at depth, its ability to maintain a consistent temperature regardless of surface conditions, is a consequence of the Earth's thermal mass and thermal diffusivity. Properties that determine how quickly temperature changes at the surface penetrate downward through the soil. At the surface, soil temperature follows air temperature closely, cycling daily and seasonally with the ambient condition. At 1 foot of depth, the daily cycle is dampened. The temperature varies with the season but not with the day. At 6 feet of depth, the seasonal cycle is dampened. The temperature varies slightly between summer and winter, but that variation is measured in single degrees, not in the 50 to 90 degree swings that surface air experiences across a Texas or Oklahoma summer. At 10 feet of depth, the temperature is essentially constant year-round. The annual mean temperature of the specific location, which in the southern United States ranges from approximately 55 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit depending on latitude. This thermal stability is the earth tube's cooling resource. A cooling resource that requires no refrigerant, no compressor, no condenser, no refrigeration cycle. Just a pipe, a fan, and the understanding that the ground has been cooling air for free since before the first building was ever constructed above it. The architectural implication of this physics is significant, because it means that the earth tube system is not a supplement to a conventional HVAC system. For a well-insulated barndominium in a hot climate, with proper closed-cell spray foam, a correctly oriented roofline, and an earth tube system delivering preconditioned air at 65 to 72 degrees. The earth tube system may be the primary cooling system, with a small backup mini-split or evaporative cooler handling the peak summer days when even the ground's thermal stability is not sufficient to bring the preconditioned air below 72 degrees. The earth tube system is most efficiently integrated into a barndominium when it is designed into the building before the foundation is poured. Not retrofitted after the slab is down and the site is graded. Here is why. The earth tube run, 100 to 200 feet of pipe at 6 to 10 feet of depth, must begin far enough from the building that the pipe's intake is drawing outdoor air from an area whose soil temperature has not been affected by the building's own heat load. A condition called thermal saturation, where the building's waste heat warms the surrounding soil to the point where the earth tube's cooling effect is reduced. The intake location, the point where outdoor air enters the earth tube system, should be a minimum of 50 feet from the building's foundation, and ideally located in a shaded area, under tree cover or on the north side of a feature that prevents direct solar radiation on the soil surface above the pipe, which further reduces the ground temperature at the pipe's depth and improves the system's cooling performance. In a barndominium whose site plan was designed to accommodate the earth tube run, the pipe is laid in a trench dug before the driveway is poured, before the landscaping is established, before the site work is complete, and integrated into the building's mechanical rough-in at the foundation stage, connecting to the building's air distribution system at a single intake point in the foundation wall or through the slab. The pipe diameter, typically 8 to 12 inches for a residential application, determines the volume of air the system can deliver. And that volume determines whether the earth tube functions as the primary cooling strategy or as a preconditioning system that reduces the load on a conventional HVAC system. For a 1,200 to 1,800 square foot barndominium, a single 10-inch earth tube run of 150 feet can deliver approximately 400 to 600 cubic feet per minute of preconditioned air, sufficient, in a well-insulated building, to maintain interior temperatures below 78 degrees Fahrenheit on all but the most extreme summer days, without any additional mechanical cooling input. Let's talk about what an earth tube system actually costs to install in 2026. Because the operating cost of $5 per month is the number that captures attention. And the installation cost is the number that determines whether the system makes financial sense for your specific build. Earth tube pipe, 8 to 12 inch diameter smoothbore HDPE pipe, food grade or ASTM rated for underground application, 100 to 200 foot run, $800 to $2,400 for materials alone. The pipe material specification matters significantly. Smoothbore interior surfaces resist moisture accumulation and biological growth more effectively than corrugated pipe. And biological growth inside an earth tube is the primary long-term performance and air quality risk of the system. Trenching, mechanical excavation of a 100 to 200 foot trench at 6 to 10 feet of depth, $2,500 to $5,500 depending on soil conditions, trench depth, and access to the site. Rocky soil, high water table conditions, or limited equipment access can push trenching costs significantly higher. Up to $8,000 to $12,000 in difficult site conditions. Pipe installation, bedding material, pipe laying, slope verification, backfill compaction, $1,200 to $2,400. The pipe must be installed with a continuous slope toward a condensate drain. Earth tubes produce condensation as warm humid air contacts the cool pipe surface. And that condensate must be drained away from the building rather than allowed to pool inside the pipe. Intake structure, screened intake housing with insect and rodent exclusion, pre-filter, positioned at the far end of the pipe run, $400 to $800. Building integration, connecting the earth tube to the building's air distribution system, installing the supply fan, connecting controls, $1,500 to $3,000. Total earth tube system installation cost for a residential barndominium in favorable site conditions, $6,400 to $14,100. In difficult site conditions, rocky soil, high water table, limited equipment access, $12,000 to $22,000. Now apply the financial logic. A conventional 2-ton mini-split system for a 1,200 to 1,800 square foot barndominium in a hot climate costs approximately $4,500 to $8,500 installed in 2026. And consumes approximately $80 to $140 per month in electricity during the summer cooling season. $400 to $700 per year in cooling energy costs. An earth tube system at $6,400 to $14,100 installed. With a $3 to $6 monthly electricity cost. Pays back its installation premium over a conventional HVAC system in approximately 8 to 18 years in operating cost savings. And continues delivering free cooling for the remaining life of the building. Which, for a properly installed HDPE pipe system buried in stable soil, is 50 years or more. The earth tube system is a genuine and proven technology with a performance record that goes back decades in European passive house construction. And it has real limitations that must be understood before any site decision is made. The moisture and air quality challenge is the earth tube's most significant operational risk. Warm humid air drawn through a cool underground pipe produces condensation. And condensation in an enclosed underground pipe creates conditions that support mold and bacterial growth if the system is not designed with adequate drainage, adequate air velocity to prevent stagnant zones, and adequate access for periodic inspection. A poorly designed earth tube does not deliver cool air. It delivers cool air contaminated with biological material. A condition that is invisible to the occupant and potentially hazardous to their health. The design specification for the condensate drainage system, the pipe slope, the drain location, the drain access, must be addressed by a mechanical engineer with specific earth tube experience, not by a general HVAC contractor encountering the system for the first time. High water table sites are incompatible with earth tube installation. A site where the water table is within 6 feet of the surface, common in coastal areas, river flood plains, and high rainfall regions, cannot accommodate an earth tube system at an effective depth. Soil thermal conductivity varies. Sandy or dry soils have lower thermal conductivity than dense clay or moist soils, meaning the air-to-soil heat exchange is less efficient. And the required pipe length to achieve the same preconditioning performance increases significantly. In low-conductivity soils, a system that requires 150 feet of pipe in clay soil may require 250 feet or more to achieve equivalent performance. A cost difference that changes the system's financial case significantly. And the system requires planning before the slab. An earth tube system retrofitted to an existing barndominium, after the driveway is poured, after the landscaping is established, after the site work is complete, is significantly more expensive to install than one designed into the site from the beginning. If earth tubes are part of your building strategy, they must be part of your site plan before any ground is broken. Architecture has always had two relationships with the natural environment. The first, the relationship of resistance. The building as a barrier between the occupant and an environment that is too hot, too cold, too wet, too exposed. The mechanical system as the technology that maintains the barrier, consuming energy to fight the ambient condition indefinitely. The second, the relationship of intelligence. The building as a participant in the natural environment, designed to use the environment's own properties, its thermal mass, its air movement, its solar geometry, as the primary tools of climate control. The earth tube is the most literal expression of the second relationship available in residential construction. It does not fight the summer heat. It goes underground, 6 feet below it, to where the summer heat has never reached. And brings that depth's permanent coolness back to the surface through a pipe, at the cost of a fan, for $5 a month. That is not a clever technology. That is an ancient truth. The ground is cooler than the air. Finally being applied to the buildings that have been paying to ignore it for decades. In 2026, as electricity costs climb, as extreme heat events intensify, and as the barndominium community develops an increasingly sophisticated understanding of building performance, the earth tube is the architectural decision that the most intelligent barndominium builds are beginning to make. Not as a novelty. As the obvious answer to a question that the ambient air was never equipped to solve. If this video gave you a new way of thinking about what your barndominium's energy strategy could actually be, hit the like button and share it with someone who is planning a build and has not had this conversation yet. Subscribe to Barndominium Haven, the channel that covers barndominium architecture, environmental engineering, and building performance in 2026 with the depth and honesty your build deserves. Drop your climate zone, your soil type if you know it, and your build timeline in the comments. We read every single one. And we will see you in the next one.